Hey, it's me, Rod Morgan, a longtime listener and semi-professional host of the Morgan You Know podcast, a pop culture, sometimes music, sometimes movies, sometimes TV podcast, always entertaining podcast on the Morgan You Know podcast network. Listen to us wherever you get your podcast. That's an awful lot of podcasts. That's the Morgan You Know podcast.
Hello, Internet. The Morgan You Know podcast network presents Balls and Brew.
Welcome to the flagship sports podcast here on the Morgan You Know podcasting network. I am your host, Rod Morgan. This podcast, as well as every other podcast on this network, is produced by James Jam Riska. Happy Thanksgiving! You will probably be listening to this on your way to your Thanksgiving festivities. Maybe you'll be listening to it while you're getting all of the food ready for your relatives to come invade your space. So we have a little bit of a special pod here for you. We're going to give you a Thanksgiving present. It's not prone to give presents on Thanksgiving, but we're going to give you a Thanksgiving present at the end of this Balls and Brew. Not only are you going to get football up top, NFL Week12, as you're used to, and not only are you going to get the fast break, which is new on the scene, but everybody loves it. That's still going to happen for you. At the end, you're going to get wrestling picks. A quick little taste of what Jimmy and I do over on our wrestling podcast here for you on your Thanksgiving weekend. We appreciate you joining us. And by us, I mean the producer of this very podcast, James Jamriska. Jimmy, hello.
It is week 12. Let's go.
Chris King is joining us from North Carolina. Chris, hello.
Happy Turkey Day, everybody.
And of course, if we're talking football, we have to have our NFL handicapper. He's coming in with a record of 18-13-2. It's Josh Williams. Josh, hello.
What's up, boys? Thanksgiving week. We got some Maui Invitational for college basketball. My favorite college basketball tourney. We got the Hoosiers still undefeated. What a great time to be alive.
I love it. You are keeping up the tradition of bringing up college basketball in your intro. I love that, Williams. It is Thanksgiving, as I've mentioned a couple of times. Chris said Happy Turkey Day. We're not going to belabor the point, but my question to all three of you is the same. Do you have a Thanksgiving eating strategy? Do you have a specific food you want to get to first? Do you have a specific food you want to get to last? How many plates do you go into the day thinking you're going to eat? Do you have a specific time you need to start eating? Jimmy, I'll start with you. Any strategy going into the big day?
Honestly, I'm just meat and potatoes. I like my white meat turkey breast. I like my potatoes. I like my stuffing. I want to get that taken care of, put some gravy over all of that, and then I'm good to go. I'll have some other stuff, but I really want to focus on those main three.
Okay, but so you don't, is there a certain time that you want to have all of those? Come on, you got to give us something, Jimmy. You just came on here and said you're going to eat turkey and mashed potatoes and some stuffing and put gravy on it. Everyone's doing that for Thanksgiving, Jim. Come on, give us something that's unique to the Jamriska strategy for Thanksgiving Day.
Dude, I got nothing. I don't know what you want me to fuck.
What time do you want to eat at? Give me that at least, Jim.
I would like to eat. I would like to eat at 1 o'clock.
So you're almost make it lunch. You're more make it lunch guy.
I'm a lunch guy. Yeah.
All right, there we go. Thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy is a little bit exhausted. He has admitted that. We're hoping to draw something out of Jimmy by the end of this podcast, but he is exhausted. We're hoping to draw something out of him. Williams, come on. I know you're an eater. You got to have something for me here. Your Thanksgiving Day strategy. You handicap football games, or you handicapping the way you eat on Thanksgiving?
I'm eyeballing the deviled eggs right off the bat. I gotta get the good deviled eggs, and I don't know, man. I'm gonna disappoint you, man, because my strategy now is just to not overeat. Because I used to just always overeat so much and just feel terrible the rest of the day. So I gotta watch it with that, man. I'm actually getting up early, running in a 5K. I'm gonna disappoint you guys here, but hey, maybe that just gets me more. I can do more damage later on in the day.
Listen, everyone, please stay with us. I promised you some entertainment on Thanksgiving. Please stay with us. We will get there. Williams, I guess let me ask you this then. Give us a day of the old Williams, right? How many plates would old Williams put down? The guy that you're trying not to be anymore. Tell us about an old Williams day.
Yeah, at least 2.5, man. There's the mashed potatoes, the ham, the stuffing, the deep fried turkey. You just keep going back to it, and I just keep going back to the deviled eggs. Just maybe some sweet potatoes. Just fantastic stuff there.
All right, Chris, you don't quite go back to the first Thanksgiving, but you've clearly had more Thanksgivings than all the rest of us on this podcast. Chris, come on, give us something good here. What's your strategy going into Turkey Day? Do you know right away how many plates you're going to eat? Do you know what you're eating first, what you're eating last? What do you got for us?
Okay, so you got to start off the day prepping yourself, all right? That means wearing loose pants. Put a belt on, wear some loose pants. By like plate number 3, you're going to be loosening that belt up, and you got some room to expand in those pants. You got to think ahead there. First plate, you need to be majority meat. Get that meat while it's hot, while it's fresh. Get that ham, that turkey, and maybe a side, whether it's mashed potatoes or maybe some green bean casserole or baked mac and cheese, something like that. I do stay away from.
See, that's a pro tip right there. That's a pro tip. Let's stay with that real quick, Chris. That's a pro tip. Get on that turkey while it's still warm and juicy, right? That thing's only going to dry out. Get a hold of your turkey ration early. Those sides, guess what? There's a microwave somewhere. You can give your aunt your plate. She can go heat those sides up for you. They'll be there. Get that turkey while it's juicy. I love that out of you.
Yep.
Watch out for the biscuits, though. See, I don't like that you're bringing up biscuits. I try to avoid all bread on Thanksgiving Day.
That's what I'm saying. You stay away from the bread. Some starches are okay, a little bit of mac and cheese, a little bit of potatoes, but you want to stay away from the stuffing. You want to stay away from the bread. That's just going to fill you up, and you're not going to get the good stuff because you're going to want to go 3 plates deep on the main courses and the side dishes, but you need to save room for that last plate of desserts.
Absolutely. See, that's my strategy. My strategy is I'm coming in, and a lot of people have put together a lot of sweat and tears and, frankly, money with how much groceries cost these days, right? So I'm going to come in and I'm going to try to sample a little bit of everything, right? There's going to be Chex Mix laid out. I love the Chex Mix. I'm going to hit that, but I'm going to make sure I don't overdo myself on the Chex Mix because I got other things to eat. I'm definitely checking in on mashed potatoes. I'm going to have a bigger portion of those than of the other dishes that I don't really want. I'm going to have the turkey early, like we stated, make sure it's juicy. But then the desserts, here's what I love, and this is why my family is the best, all right? This is an underrated pie, and it is actually the official state pie of Indiana, and that's the sugar cream pie, all right? Look into a sugar cream pie out there. Get yourself one from a bake shop. Have somebody make you one. A sugar cream pie is a real standout when it comes to a dessert on Thanksgiving Day because pumpkin pie's fine and whipped cream's great, but something about that sugar cream pie doesn't hit as hard as pumpkin pie on top of the already deep Thanksgiving meal. Chris, I hear you echoing that. Are you a big sugar cream pie fan?
Oh, I will take that over the pumpkin, over the pecan. I'll put whipped cream right on top of that sugar cream pie. It is delicious, and it is the official state pie of Indiana.
All right, so the last question I'm going to ask here, and I just thought of it because of what you said. Is it pecan or is it pecan, Jimmy?
It's pecan.
Williams, pecan or pecan?
Pecan.
Yeah, see, I say pecan as well. There's no pecans on this podcast. That's good.
Pecan is funnier, though.
Yeah, I think it's a little pretentious. And if you know Balls and Brew by now, you know we are not pretentious because we have the Tom Cruise game of the week. We have 3 things Chris knows. We have Jimmy's face and heel. And, of course, the handicapper is going to give you his 3 picks. Where to start? Let me look down at my sheet here. You know what? Let's start with some preseason predictions, if we will. Let's start with one from me, your buddy, the host, Rod Morgan. I believe I told you all Kansas City was going to roll through the AFC. It didn't look like that early, but if you look up at the standings right now, who is on top in the AFC, who looks like they're really, really good, and who's coming off of a big victory? Jimmy, start us off. Tell us more about Kansas City.
Hey, my face this week is Patrick Mahomes. 329 yards passing, 3 touchdowns to Travis Kelce. And, of course, with 31 seconds left, Mahomes has the ball. You know what's going to happen. It's going to happen. He's going to score. He just needs 1 second on the clock, and you're still nervous. Patrick Mahomes, my face of the week.
Williams, I was watching the end of that game, and I had you in mind the whole time because I know that you break down these coaching decisions and stuff. Do you believe there's anything different San Diego should have done in that game? Is there something they should have done different that not end up where they did? Not San Diego, Los Angeles. I do that all the time still.
I mean, I thought they actually played well. I mean, I've had a problem with the OC all year, Joe Lombardi, or maybe more so the GM. They just haven't had – they should have got Herbert more speed on the perimeter, and Lombardi's been calling a bunch of pass plays that are like 5.6 yards down the field. I mean, Justin Herbert was born to throw lasers down the field, man, not dink and dunk. So, hopefully they get a speedster, on that team that can help them, get the defense to worry about long passes because, Mike Williams gets hurt. Keenan Allen, you can never count on him. Herbert deserves better here, man. Like, he doesn't even have a real home field advantage. What about this, man? Hey, here's a hot take for you, man. We all think that Jacksonville might be the team to go to Germany. How about we send the Chargers over to Germany? How that the Germany fans love the football over there that last week. They embrace that team. How about the Chargers don't have any home field advantage? How about we send them over Germany to get a home field advantage? Maybe then their luck will switch, and maybe then we can get some Herbert in the playoffs going forward. What do you guys think about that?
Wow, Chris, you were calling for more NFL fans to act like German fans. How about Williams' call out there? Just send the Chargers to Germany. I'm sure you're pro that.
Yeah, might as well. They city jump all the time, so why not country hop?
Why not country hop? Country hop, city jump. I like that. That's good. Something about that turn of phrase. But Chris, I believe you had another take on the Chiefs. What do you got for us?
So Patrick Mahomes is definitely the front runner for the MVP. I know that Travis Kelce should be the front runner for Offensive Player of the Year. Here's a team lost their big playmaker and Tyreek Hill this offseason. People were wondering where are these big plays going to come from? Where are these touchdowns going to come from? It's Travis Kelce. He has stepped up in a huge, huge way, especially during a year when the tight end position is down. He's out there leading the league and receiving touchdowns with 11. He's sixth in the lead with 855 yards receiving. He has 69 receptions, and he produces big plays. He's had 2 games this year, just 2, where he didn't have a completion longer than 20 yards. Every other game, 20, 30, 40-yard catches all the time. Big play production. Huge reason why the offense for Kansas City is still chugging along like it has for the past 3-4 years. Kelce, front runner for Offensive Player of the Year.
When you sent me this ahead of time, I thought it was awfully spicy, and I was prepared to push back against you with one particular player who you actually brought up there who exited Kansas City. And I just can't help but think if somebody's going to set a record in an offensive category, they have strong case to be Offensive Player of the Year. But, Chris, I don't often do this. You just laid out a really, really good case there, man. You may be onto something. You really may be onto something there. I can't believe I'm doing this.
The one thing that Tyreek Hill
it's a
has
Thanksgiving
against
miracle
him right now is his lack of touchdowns. He moves the chains. He's getting receptions. Last game or so, his yard total has been down. It's going to be tougher for him to reach that receiving yard record. But if he had 3 more touchdowns than his 4, I would probably give him more props. But, Kelce catches touchdown, makes big plays. You can't flack him for that. He deserves to be in that conversation and the front runner right now.
All right, let's go to probably the other big outcome from last week. I would have to say it's the Dallas Cowboys. Chris, your Cowboys absolutely laying waste to the Minnesota Vikings. Jimmy, what do you got for us on that game?
Yeah, I've got my heel of the week being Kirk Cousins once again in a prime spot, just not doing anything at all. Yeah, he had a good game the week before. But again, that was a game that they weren't expected to win. A lot of people had the Vikings in this one, and he was 12 of 23 for 105 yards. Really pathetic performance. This game was over so much so that they left the game to go to other games on the network. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, man, when they leave your game, that's rough. Mr. Williams, your thoughts on the Cowboys routing the Vikings?
Yeah, that's why I picked Dallas -1.5 last week. That was a pretty sharp side. A lot of the public liked the Vikings, but that was a huge emotional letdown spot, after that miracle win against Buffalo. And then we saw Dallas blow a 14-point lead late against Green Bay, so I thought that was going to be a good bounce back spot for Dallas. And Cousins' completion percentage drops 30% when pressured, and when you have Michael Parsons breathing down your neck, I mean, you're going to get pressured. And the reason why Dallas struggled, I thought, with Green Bay is because Anthony Barr was out. And so Parsons played linebacker more in that game. So that's why they didn't get as much pressure against Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay does have a better offensive line than the Vikings do. But, I mean, this Dallas team is a lot better when Parsons is on the line. So I thought that they would – readjust and have him on the line more, and Cousins just had no chance in that game last week. So, Cowboys looking tough moving forward.
They certainly are. The Cowboys are going to make the playoffs in the NFC, and we know the Eagles are going to make the playoffs in the NFC, and it certainly looks like the 49ers are rounded towards making the playoffs in the NFC. But other than that, it's wide open down in the NFC South. We are going to get to the Bucs when Mr. Williams picks their game. But Chris, I know you got a thought about one of the other teams down there in the NFC South. Let's pick that one off here real quick.
Yeah, I know the Falcons are a real contender and have a real shot of claiming that NFC South. I don't believe in what the Bucs are doing right now. Brady has had 20 minutes of good quarterback play so far this year. He's getting a lot of yards, but he's not getting the ball in the end zone. And frankly, the Falcons have an easier schedule the rest of the way out. I see maybe just a couple of losses for them over the last 6-7 games, and I think there's a good chance that the Bucs could go and lose 3 to 4 of their remaining games. They got some tough opponents, including like Cincinnati. I don't think this Cleveland game should be looked over by them. I mean, I haven't been that impressed with Tampa Bay, and Atlanta's playing tough. I know they lost last week. I think they're 2-3 of the last 5, but that running game accounts for something, and Cordell Patterson has just been a beast on the ground. I like the Falcons.
I like Arthur Smith too. You could tell me anything's going to happen in that NFC South, but I kind of would lead towards Brady. Will probably ultimately end up on top there. So Chris, we know you got one more thing left. We'll get to that one. Actually, let's do the Bucs Browns here, and then we'll get to Chris's other thought when Williams makes another one of his picks. Williams, what do you got for us on Bucs Browns?
Yeah, I mean, I could not disagree with Chris more here. I think the Falcons are frauds. Their defense is terrible, and losing Kyle Pitts, I know that this isn't going to go over well in the fantasy world because he really hasn't done anything in fantasy world, but in the real life world, losing Kyle Pitts is absolutely humongous to defending this team. Now you don't have to worry about him, so now you can focus in on that running game. That's all they want to do, and you can focus on shutting down Drake London. But getting over to Tampa Bay, I think they know that that the division is theirs to lose now. I mean, the Saints have lost the most games to injuries out of any team in the league in their division, and that's why I'm going back to the Bucs here, -3.5 against Cleveland. I think this team is a play on for a while now. They are healthy on defense after 8 weeks of guys being in and out. Their front seven is back to full strength, and their offense, after the Rams win, acted notably different versus Seattle. So Brady's off the bye here with time to sort things out. I think that's going to help play calling further. And the Browns season changes completely with the Watson return next week. They're kind of in a weird transition here, I feel. They know their season's over after that loss last week, and Deshaun coming back next week. So they're also the worst rush D EPA in NFL history so far, and I think the Bucs running game got going a little bit there last week. And the Bucs getting Akeem Nicks back at defensive tackle, we touched on it a little bit last week. It's huge. You saw them shut down that Seattle run game last week. He's going to be a huge key in stopping this Browns rush attack that we know is pretty potent with Chubb and Hunt. But I think this is just kind of a weird spot for Cleveland, and I like Tampa coming off the bye here, -3.5.
Jimmy, I believe we have sort of, right, I think Williams and myself at times, and correct me if I'm wrong here, that's what I love you doing, telling me when I'm wrong, because I need somebody to call me out. But I believe we've sort of preached patience with the Bucs and said when time comes to the end of the year, they'll probably right there be in the running. Have we not?
You have. Brady has had a weird year, though, and then with all the financial stuff coming out this past week. They've got 2 hard games coming up, but then they also have they have a Falcons game, so they can go against them there and get the win. I do still like the Bucs, but I don't think Chris is too far off, though.
Yeah, like I said, I think the NFC South is still way open, but Williams is certainly the handicapper on this. You should take his advice over mine, the man who's just trying to be the merry jokester here. Let's move on to Williams and Jimmy's team taking on the Fireman Ed fan favorite, Jets. Jets, go Jets.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with I don't think Fields is playing, and the Jets have announced that Zach Wilson's getting benched, so we're going to go with Mike White here. So we're not actually the Jets got steamed up to -6. I don't feel comfortable really laying 6 with the Jets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Bears team total under 16.5. Best juice on that is -110 on MGM. Like I said, the Jets got steamed today. They're all the way up to -6 here. So even though it won't be Zach Wilson, that's why I didn't really want to lay 6 there.
Wait a minute. You're taking a team total now? So
team
we've done a half of an entire game, and now we're doing a just team under.
Hey, we were 1-0 on that first half under. So I'm taking Bears team total under.
Let me ask you this real quick. Come on, open the heart for us here, Williams. How dirty do you feel right now making a bet against your team that they can't even score 17 points?
Yeah, I mean, well, this is what's best for them. I mean, you don't need to put Fields out there where he shouldn't have been out there for the last drive last week. I mean, that was just totally ridiculous. And then not only is he out there, they have him rush up the middle like 2 different times when he's holding his shoulder. It's like they're not going anywhere this year anyway. So I don't know why he was out there.
All right, hey, wait on 1 second. I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to ask Jimmy about that as well. Jimmy, your thoughts about Fields in last week's game and all the talk that's been floating around that the Bears are doing him dirty and running him too much?
Well, of course they're doing him dirty because they finally have something that's a positive, and let's just run it in the ground and destroy it like everything else we ever do with the Chicago Bears.
Williams, I'm sorry I sidetracked you on your handicap in there, but I wanted to get that out.
No, that's all right. I mean, he's got to learn how to take slides too, man. Like he can't be getting hit. He's already in his second year, and I'm already worried about his durability. Like he's tougher than nails. That was one of his positives coming out of Ohio State, but he can't take this many hits, man. So like getting back to this game, back-to-back road games here for the Bears. You've got the Pack coming in next week. That's probably their Super Bowl, and then you've got a bye after that. So. This is one that's like how prepared and how focused are the Bears going to be traveling again out of conference without Fields outdoors versus this Jets D, and this Jets D has been fantastic lately. I'm going to guess not very pumped. So I'm taking the Bears team total under 16.5. There's not much else here. John Hussey is the referee for this game, and he is favored. He's the best referee for home teams. So
ding 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 ding. Williams ref stat. Thank you,
ref
my friend.
stat. Yeah, that's the only one I got for this week. So yeah, I don't see Trevor Siemian tearing up this Jets D.
That's who's playing quarterback for the Bears, Trevor Siemian. Shout out, good for that guy.
That's why I'm taking the Bears team total under 16.5.
Okay, fine. You're doing that, so you're confident in telling the people you don't think the Bears can score 17 points. How many points do you think the Jets are going to score?
That's tough because we don't really know. Is it Mike White? Is it? I mean, they think it's going to be Mike White, but is it going to be windy? The Jets' offense really hasn't been that great, but the Bears' D hasn't been that great. I don't know. This could be a 17-13 game. It could be a 20-3 game. So I mean,
all right,
who knows?
Okay. I get it. You don't want to go out on a limb. You're a handicapper. I understand. Chris, all right. I think you have a lean of who you think might lose this game. Chris, what do you got for us on this?
So I will say that, yeah, the Jets defense is top tier. But I know that the Jets are the Jets still, especially when it comes to this offense. I'm gonna steal a line from Brian Costello, who writes for the New York Post. He covers the Jets. Is there something worse than putrid? If there is, that's what the Jets offense is. And they showed it.
Nice. I love our first ever newspaper quote is that one. That's good stuff.
They were horrid, absolutely horrid last week. They had 2 yards in the second half. 2. It's 2 yards. It's an unbelievable level of stink that the Jets offense put out last week.
It's like that. It's like the Billy Bean quote from Moneyball, right? He's like, there's a bottom level, and then underneath that bottom level is a whole bunch of shit, and then underneath all of that shit is us.
Right? I'm just saying that it might be a 6-3 game. I mean, I don't know if changing quarterbacks is going to do it. I mean, I guess it can't get worse.
So what you're
The one
saying
thing
is
that
this is
Zach
the weekend
Wilson
after
did last week
Thanksgiving.
was-
Don't waste your time on Sunday with the Bears and the Jets. That's basically what we're saying here, right? Is that what I'm understanding?
I wouldn't. I mean, not unless you want to see some guys attempt some field goals. I think that's about all you're going to get.
Who doesn't like field goal kicking? All right, there you have it. The sensational pick of Bears under team total 16.5 by our handicapper right there. Let's move on to his final game, which includes one of my personal faves of this year, the Jags, baby. We all know I was in way on the Jags, and I think we're about to get a classic Williams circle back right here.
Yeah, I mean, you also got the Jets' next two games are against the Vikings and Bills, so this is a big game for them. So, yeah, I mean, Jets probably in a low-scoring game. I like Jacksonville and the Ravens under 43.5. Exciting picks here this week. I got the Jags.
At least that's the entire game.
Entire
Thank you.
game, yeah. Lawrence home stats here. The under is 12-2 against the spread, covering by over a touchdown per game, including a perfect 5-0 this season. That's his home stats for his career. The under is 12-2 against the spread at home. So it's pretty crazy. You haven't been able to get any consistency with this Ravens offense either. This Jags run D has been good. That's what you need when you go up against Baltimore. The Ravens kind of sleepwalking through this part of their schedule. This is kind of a cake schedule here for them. And Lamar had an illness pop up late last week. You saw them struggle with Carolina late into the fourth quarter. That game was like 3-0 late. So now Lamar's name just popped up in the injury list this week, questionable with a hip. You know, I projected him to go, but how healthy really is he? You've got a good prep coach in Doug Peterson, and the Jags coming off a bye here. So the Ravens, I think they're extra vanilla lately. I don't think they want to give anything away for these future playoff matches. We've seen them have trouble in the playoffs, and I really think they're getting super conservative in these regular season games where they know that they can dominate the other team. I feel like this is a classic under here, 43.5, Jacksonville and Baltimore.
Let me ask you one question then about this game, because we all know I love the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we don't have to belabor that point here. But we also know that I have a futures ticket on Ravens to the Super Bowl. What do you think my chances are of the Ravens rounding into form here and making a run at the right time?
Yeah, I still don't trust them in the playoffs. I think this is a really good regular season team. I think they're comparable to Philly. I think they're a really good offensive, really good like regular season team. They're tough to prepare for in the regular season, but in the playoffs, I can feel this tightening up. You can already see it with Philadelphia. They're tightening up. And the Ravens, we've seen this over and over again. They tighten up in these playoff games, and maybe Lamar can break through this year. They've had a lot of injuries on the offensive side, but the AFC is just loaded, man. Kansas City, Buffalo, Cincinnati, and then you've got the Titans are playing well too. So
yeah, they are. The Titans are going to come up here in a minute.
Yeah, so we'll see, man. The AFC playoffs are going to be tougher than hell, man, to get through there.
You ever have that thing happen in your head where somebody says something and then immediately a song pops in your head? When you said tighten up there, Mr. Williams, I immediately thought of the Archie Bell and the Drells song called the Tighten Up. Jimmy, I'm sure you thought of that song too, right?
Yeah, I was going to pop in, but you popped in before me.
Yeah, I beat you to the punch on that one, didn't I? All right, so all we have left to do on our football portion of the podcast is the Tom Cruise Game of the Week grade and the pick for what game will be the Tom Cruise game for this week. We picked last week the Detroit Fightin' Football Lions versus the New York Football Giants, and ultimately we didn't get another great game. The Tom Cruise game curse continues. This game was only 6-3 at the end of the first quarter. Then it was 17-6 at halftime, and it only ended up being 31-18 because the Giants got 12 points in the fourth quarter, kind of garbage time. Ugly game, but maybe, just maybe, it will end up being important for someone in that game, that the Lions, who I have my fingers crossed, make a late run to the final spot in the NFC, as we talked about earlier, being completely wide open. So to that end, Jimmy, I'm going to grade Lions v. Giants, born on the 4th of July. A movie that was good, a movie that got Tom Cruise an Oscar nomination, made him a legitimate, real actor, but he didn't win the Academy Award, and I don't want to watch Born on the 4th of July again. Your thoughts?
I was going to say a good game, but something you never, ever want to watch again. Important for both the Giants and the Lions. It kind of shows you the Giants are kind of what they should have been. They needed to win this game. This was a game that if you are really going to be a contender in the NFC, you have to come out and win, and they did not. I think it's a real good call, Born on the 4th of July.
All right, Williams, I see you got your hand up here that we use in our podcast room. What do you got for us?
Yeah, Jimmy was right on this game. It ended up going over. And after I gave out that the Giants home unders like 15-1-1, the last like 17, and the game goes over. And Jimmy thought that there would be a lot of points, but yeah, Lions are rolling here. Lions have won 3 in a row, and guess what? Their next 3 games are all at home. The Bills struggling just a little bit with the Allen shoulder.
This is the game, right? This is the game. They win this game, then they're riding high.
Yeah. I think they're live dogs here in the game in Thanksgiving against Buffalo here. So I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means.
Nice. All right. Well, I want to give credit here to where credit is due. We workshopped the Tom Cruise game score before we record, and Mr. King had a thought about risky business, and his thought about risky business and how it was important for Tom Cruise ultimately sort of helped lead me to Born on the 4th of July. So shout out to Chris on that. And with that said, this week I'm going to pick, I mentioned it earlier, the Tennessee Titans are involved. I gave Mike Vrabel all the credit in the world last week. Tennessee somehow manages to play tight games and win tight games and just be around at the end of the year. And another team that seems to be rounding into form and can be awfully exciting is the Cincinnati Bengals. So I'm picking Cincinnati versus Tennessee. Williams, can we get to a Top Gun level game with this one?
I think this is going to be a really good game. The Bengals have a ridiculously tough schedule left, and I know I picked them to miss the playoffs going in just because of that schedule. But if this team can get any consistency with the play calling, and right after I called out Zach Taylor like a month ago, they started like throwing more on first down. So maybe Zach Taylor's listening. I don't know.
We're big with industry people, Mr. Williams. We're big with industry people.
But if they get Jamar Chase back going down the stretch here, this Bengals team is dangerous. And as much as I crapped on Tennessee, that the Titans team is dangerous too. They just do it with smoke and mirrors.
They just do it with smoke and mirrors. Listen, you get that last Tennessee shot in there. All right, Mr. Williams, you have a happy Thanksgiving, sir. We are thankful for all that you bring to the podcast. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, no problem. Tell Wu I said what's up.
You got it. There you go. You just let the cat out of the bag. We have a surprise for the people on the other side. When we come back, Mr. Jamriska is going to be driving, and we are going to be joined by an old friend who loves to talk hoops with us. Stick around. Fast break is ahead.
All right, are you ready for the fastest 15 minutes in the NBA? And if you think we're going to do it in 15 minutes today, you're sorely mistaken. You are on Fast Break on the Morgan You Know Podcasting Network. I am Jimmy, joined as always by the Mr. Morgan You Know, Rod Morgan. How are you today, sir?
I am great, Jimmy. We are almost upon Thanksgiving, and yeah, you guys are going to have some extra time on your hands, so this will be a little extra episode of a Fast Break for you, extra in time, I suppose.
Yeah, we've had a terrific episode with Williams. Chris King, how did you feel about the NFL portion of the show tonight?
It was one of our better podcasts. It's a very good listen.
Okay, and now, wait a minute. What do I hear? Whose music is that? Is that Matt Kaczerski? Matt Wu-Tang, are you here?
Hi.
That is right. Wu-Tang is back and ready to go. We've got him on the basketball pod because that is what he loves to do. But here's the thing. It's Thanksgiving. Last week we did a lot of thankful stuff, Rod. This week, I'm going to throw a little curveball at everybody. We're starting with the Rod Damnation of the week.
Jimmy, I'm going to throw a curveball right back at you because it's Thanksgiving and because we all should be thinking about what we're thankful for in our lives. I was not going to do a Rod Damnation this week. I was going to do a What Am I thankful for. And what I am thankful for is going to be a weird one, but let me get there. I am thankful for the NBA Rules Committee. The NBA Rules Committee has worked on how to improve the National Basketball Association product tirelessly for years, and no one ever gives them any credit. Well, I'm giving them all the credit in the world now. The pace of play in the NBA is up this year. Scoring is up this year. Individual scoring is up this year. Teams seem to care a little bit more. These games early on in the regular season seem important. They come down to the wire. They're fun, exciting watches. And I think there's one thing we can point to and be thankful for that leads to all of this, and it is the abolition of the take foul in the NBA. It was killing the game. Too many free throws, too many stoppages, and we were literally getting rid of the highlight, TikTok, YouTube plays by stopping fast breaks. That is no longer allowed in the NBA, and I am thankful for the pace of play and the rules committee for installing that new rule and no longer allowing the take foul. Jimmy, what do you think of that?
Oh, I just love the fact that you've just taken our sheet and just ripped it up and thrown it out. But that's okay. We're going to get to some positive things that Wu-Tang and Chris King are also thankful for. But I do want to talk to Wu-Tang about the take foul. Rod, I think that's a terrific take, no pun intended there, because the games have been faster. They've been more exciting. You've gone 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes without a foul being called. Wu-Tang, thoughts on the take foul being thrown out and anything else you are thankful for this NBA season?
I'll tell you what I'm not thankful for. I think we bring the Elam ending to the NBA. Hashtag Ball State.
That's about right. That's about right. Okay. All right. So we want to bring the Elam ending to the NBA. Why is that, or did you just say it for the hell of it? Just for the hell of it. Okay, I appreciate that.
You know who started the Elam. Who created the Elam ending? Correct.
Kid by the name of Elam, I believe.
And do you know where he went to college?
Where did he go to college, Wu-Tang?
Ball State.
Ball State. At least the Ball State ties in somehow, because that's literally where I was going to go, Jimmy. I was like, the Elam ending seems like an interesting place to turn this, but then what's hashtag Ball State got to do with it? But okay, Woo.
That's a Ball State professor. But I guess in terms of, I guess I see what you're saying, Rod, but I think there's a larger thing we need to look at when it comes to fouls.
And what would that be?
Well, I think we stick that foul back in, up the fouls.
Okay, more fouls.
You know what I mean?
Good.
I think like Summer League, what did they get? Like 9? Right?
Okay.
So you want more free throws,
you want
and more
free
play
throws,
stoppage.
and you want the games to be like baseball length, right? Like 4.5, 5 hour game.
I want more free throws, and then then you'll see the teams who are like the Golden State Warriors, fundamentally sound, good free throw teams. Then we're gonna see some good things.
Hey, and I'll tell you who loves this podcast, Jimmy, Jack Edison, because he preached free throws when it came to basketball at Plymouth High School.
So,
dearly departed Jack Edison, I apologize. Jack Edison cannot listen to this podcast. God rest his soul.
Is he alive still? Or not? Is that why you say God rest his soul, Rod? I didn't know that.
I'm fairly certain he's passed.
Okay, so Chris, Chris, just talk about something in the NBA right now. Just say anything NBA related. I got to see if Jack Edison's dead.
Listen, I'm going to tell you what
Is
I'm
he not
thankful
passed?
for.
I'm sorry. If I just killed Jack Edison, I apologize.
I am thankful that my team isn't tanking this year. I hate tanking to a passion. Everybody who listens knows this. And my Indiana Pacers are not tanking. They're out there. They're playing hard. They're winning. I love that. Everyone thought they were going to be tanking. You see it way too much in the NBA. I'm just so happy that the Pacers aren't.
What do you mean you see it way too much in the NBA? Who's tanking right now? Tell me the teams that are tanking right now in the NBA.
Houston, Detroit.
Okay, there's one.
They're just bad.
Charlotte.
There's 2. Okay, there's 3. There's 30 teams.
I'm just saying, every year, and you know what's
Who's
happening
tanking
this
the most,
year because
Chris?
everybody wants that. Well, probably Houston, if you want to be honest.
I would actually push back against that. I'll tell you the San Antonio Spurs are tanking harder. And do you want to know why? The San Antonio Spurs rested Jakob Poeltl when they played the Los Angeles Lakers. Jakob Poeltl would have been perfect. Would have been perfect to guard Anthony Davis. And they rested Devin Vassell when they played the Phoenix Suns. Devin Vassell would have been perfect to guard Devin Booker. The Spurs, good at winning, good at tanking.
They know how to lose.
They did get Tim Duncan.
So other than somebody in Ohio that's not Jack Edison in Plymouth, I think Jack Edison is still alive.
Okay, I apologize, Jack Edison.
He did retire in 2007.
Well, there you go. I just thought he had passed for some reason. It's been a long time since I've been back to Plymouth. Don't come to me for your Plymouth news.
So, Rod, going off of Chris here real quick, Pistons, Hornets, are they tanking or are they just not good right now? I mean, the Hornets and Pistons are two teams going in different directions, right?
I think the Pistons wanted to be good, and I just think it hasn't worked out for them. They had a kind of tough early schedule, and then Cade Cunningham being hurt might go ahead and force their hand. I think Utah and Danny Ainge having truth serum in them wanted to tank, but they're just too good. They're just too far ahead of the game right now to even think about tanking. And I think the Oklahoma City Thunder, with Chet Holmgren not being in there, they definitely would maybe want to tank, but I think you're seeing that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is too good. I think my guy Poku is actually showing he can be an NBA rotation player and provide something positive for them at times. Josh Giddey can do everything in the league except shoot, right? He can't shoot.
Ugly.
So I'd imagine Chris King loves him because Chris loves guys who can't shoot. Josh Giddey can do everything but shoot, so Chris probably loves him. But no, Chris is right that there will be tanking for Wembanyama, and you're right too, Jimmy, because the Rockets, they could care less about winning. Jalen Green could care less about passing, and the Rockets could care less about winning.
I'll tell you who I like on the Rockets. I like that Kevin Porter Jr.
Another one who could care zero about passing. That dude has never met a shot he doesn't like.
Yeah, well, was he the one that they got from the Cavs for a second-round pick?
Yeah, because the
Cavs were happy.
You can't be here anymore and get out of our building.
The Cavs would actually do that again. But one team, guys, that is not tanking, they are the team that this podcast represents. It's the Sacramento Kings. Now, they lost a tough one to Atlanta, but the Sacramento Kings are one of the hottest teams from the three-point line, Chris, in the NBA. Our Kings are 10-7. They're doing pretty good right now.
All right, we're just going to go right into the hardwood hierarchy since you brought up the Kings.
Hell yeah.
Sound the trumpets, baby. Sound the trumpets.
Let's go.
Okay, so King, still Boston. We know how good they are. Jason Tatum's the man. They're still the King.
By the way.
Bucks, still one of the best teams in the East. They're the Queen. And I have co-princes. I have two teams to go in that prince slot.
Two princes. Spin doctors here. I love it.
Oh, God.
The Sacramento Kings and the Indiana Pacers.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Oh, man, that's a hot take.
All right, well, hold on. Chris, tell us who the jester is.
The jester is the Charlotte Hornets.
Okay, all right. A lot to unpack there. Let's start with the positives here. The Celtics are amazing. They are led by Jason Tatum, first to 550 points this season, 37-13-5 is his last game. Celtics are hot. They are a team that you can see has good leadership. That new coach has done a great job so far.
Joe Mazzulla
thrown in at the very last minute. I cannot think of a team that's done a better job under the circumstances, gentlemen.
Shout out to Joe Mazzulla. Yeah, he's doing a really great job. And this evening, I was watching their game earlier, and it was the first time I got to hear Joe Mazzulla speak. And he's a real kind of no-nonsense guy. So I could see why he was Ime Udoka's main lieutenant and why he might still be able to continue the Celtics on the winning ways that Udoka first helped install last year. Let's just hope that one Mazzulla can comport himself better off the court than Ime. Even though we don't know what Ime did, he clearly must have done something.
Yes.
Well, we know what Ime did.
We do not. We don't traffic in rumors on this podcast, Wu-Tang.
Well, I'm fairly confident.
He was there. Are you fairly confident in your Bucks being able to sustain this, Wu-Tang? Chris Middleton, he's a player on the Bucks, isn't he? What's going on with him?
Well, I'll tell you, the Bucks right now, their defense is amazing. Brooke Lopez
lost to the Bulls 118-113. Okay, yeah.
Brooke Lopez is probably front runner for Defensive Player of the Year right now.
Wow.
I would totally second that, and I think it's an amazing second career arc that Brook Lopez has had. I think that guy deserves mad respect.
I'm a big fan. Remember, he was on Brooklyn. He was on the Lakers.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
He was solid. He's just doing what he does now.
Big wrestling fan as well, Jimmy. You know we got to love the Lopez boys because of that.
Shout out. He's one of our biggest listeners.
Brooke or Robin?
Robin doesn't like us very much. Robin's emailed in a few times. He's not a fan.
He hates my takes on AEW.
He does hate your AEW takes a lot there. Chris King, all right. You've got two princes. The Indiana Pacers, who actually want to win apparently, and the Sacramento Kings. Justify those as being your princes here.
Okay, so for one, we all know that this is about who has done more for me lately, and both the Kings and the Pacers are 8-2 over the last 10 games. That is a clip that you cannot ignore, especially when it comes to my hierarchy. We talked last week about the Kings' elite offense, and they just continue to get better. But the Pacers,
they overtook the
really
Celtics. I believe they're number one now, aren't they, Chris?
They are number one now. Yep.
Yeah, they are number one. But the Pacers have improved their defense as of late. If you go back 3 weeks ago, they were giving up almost 118 points per game. They have got their season average down to 114 points per game because they've been locking up teams these past couple weeks, and you can't ignore it. That's why they're my princes. They've been playing better than just about everybody else.
Two princes kneel before you. That's what I said now. One has diamonds in his pockets.
All right, we're going to get struck for that as well. Okay, and check that. All right. Then
that wasn't even on beat. There's no way they're going to get us for that.
Then we have our court jester.
I don't get that, actually. Why am I lost with that?
That's the Spin Doctor song, Wu.
Oh.
The Charlotte Hornets, Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Name two players on... No, the Charlotte Hornets, how can you be this bad for this long is my question for you.
Well, I think they've kind of had some... Normally, I would say bad management, but they've actually had some kind of tough breaks. I mean, you don't go ahead and lose... Was it Miles Bridges, right?
Yes.
McHale. Yeah, Miles. Lose him.
Yeah, McHale's like, don't put me in here.
He's like, wait a minute.
You don't lose him, and then you don't lose, LaMelo hasn't even played.
Yeah.
He's played a couple games as a fantasy owner of LaMelo. He's played a couple games.
Yeah, I mean, they're not a bad team, but they're losing it's like they've lost their two best players.
I think Gordon Hayward just got hurt again as we're talking right now.
Did he really? Of course.
He didn't, but I mean, that's how often he seems to get hurt.
He actually may have.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't think they're bad. I don't think they're purposely tanking. I don't think they have a choice.
They also haven't drafted very well recently. Yeah, PJ Washington did a good job, but their last couple.
Sometimes I dream that he is me.
Did they draft last year that James Boyanga guy or whatever the fuck?
That guy was their old coach.
Yeah. Oh, James. It was James Booknight. Yeah. The fucking guy from Star Wars.
We have one rule on this podcast. You guys remember a rule we used to have back in the 3&D days when me, Chris, and Wu-Tang used to do that? One of our rules was if you have a Plumlee on your team, things probably aren't going well. And the Hornets have a Plumlee.
they have a Plumlee.
But actually, Plumlee's playing pretty solid.
That dude goes hard. I mean, listen, when you come from Warsaw, Indiana, you only know one thing to do, and that's go hard.
All right, so we are going to end the show on my final my heel of the week. I think we're going to have some disagreement here. My heel of the week is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, I will tell you that I understand that you're in a slump at the free throw line and you need to shoot and things like that. But also, people have jobs to do. And I will tell you one thing. The last thing I want to do after working probably a 16-hour day is to wait another hour for some guy to shoot free throws while I need to get a camera off of the backboard. So, Giannis, you can go shoot anywhere else. They've got practice gyms in the facility. You can go somewhere else.
They don't, actually, in Philadelphia.
You could go somewhere else if you want. Or how about this? How about this? Just don't be an ass. Just go somewhere else and do it. He's my heel of the week.
Did
for
you
this
just
one.
use Giannis and ass in the same sentence? Dude,
Yeah,
that
he
guy's
can't
never
be-
acted
he
like
is-
an ass to anybody his entire life. This is ridiculous. I'm
He
going to wait.
just did.
I'm sorry.
He just did. He did this past week, and he can be
What
a
did
great
he
guy
do?
everywhere else. He's fantastic. Hey, listen, he's one of the
Explain
best
what he
guys
did to
ever.
be such an
People have
asshole.
bad days. People
I
have
wanna-
bad days.
Let's dissect this, Jimmy. What did he do
God.
to be an asshole?
He pushed the ladder. He
He
stayed
pushed
after
the
when
ladder,
they
or
asked-
did he move the ladder and it
Oh my
fell?
Christ in heaven!
He moved the ladder, they moved it back, then he threw the ladder and it fell and toppled over. And he was not paying attention to where that ladder was going. If that would have hit somebody, it'd be a whole different conversation. He
Why
is
were they
lucky
putting the
it
fucking
didn't hit
ladder there
anybody.
anyways? What kind
As
of-
a-
They had to do their job
Because they have to tear down
they
the
wanted to go
court.
home.
There's
You
a
know,
different
sometimes your
event the
job
very
goes
next
over.
day that's not an NBA game. Listen, he's on the road. If it was in Milwaukee, it'd be a completely different story. He's at
Like if it was
in a different
Montrezl Harrell
city
shooting free
on
throws,
the
it'd be a
road.
different story.
If he's that concerned about his free throws, he should have been practicing them more before the game. I'm just saying, if you have a weak spot, that's when you practice on it. Obviously, he didn't, because otherwise he doesn't go 4 of 15.
All right.
That's
couple
why he's
points
getting
here.
fouled so
Wu-Tang.
many times, because he can't make free throws. It's, instead of hack-a-shack, it's hack Giannis.
Okay, but see, Chris, I love what you did here, and you do this so often. You basically turn the argument into Giannis can't shoot free throws. That's not what we're talking about here. Jimmy called Giannis an ass earlier, right, and made him his heel of the week. All right, and then
Okay,
Jimmy's talking
here's
about
let me. Yeah, I'll get a
Go,
quote. I got a
go,
quote
go,
from you that
go.
really makes me upset with Giannis. I think
that
people
the
did not
gummy bear
respect the
quote?
fact that sometimes players want to get some extra work in. I think it's unprofessional to kick somebody off the court or take the ball or whatever, or put the ladder in front of somebody while he's trying to do his job. We get paid to do this. They didn't just pick us. We get paid. Well, so does those guys working on the event staff or the stadium staff that has to take down and convert that whole arena into something completely different for the next day. And if he's not going to respect those low-paid workers, where he has the money that he could go rent a gym out someplace in Philadelphia and practice his free throws till 4 a.m, and no one would even be bugging him or trying to work around him. But he didn't. He doesn't respect those workers. It was very clear by that quote, and you could even see it in his actions when he's throwing the ladder.
I'm so shocked. Go ahead, Wu. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I equate it to anything else. That's his office. If I'm in my office, and there's been times where I've been in my office later at night, and cleaning people come in, that'd be akin to them kicking me out of my office when I'm trying to get some work done.
I see where you're going there, but let's not make sports real life, okay? Because that's the other thing that I want to make here. Sports is not real life, okay? Sports is not real life. And Chris, another little slight pushback I want to make here is I believe that most of these workers in question and the ladder in question is ESPN related. These guys were getting TV cameras down because there's a bunch of extra TV cameras that are associated with big primetime games like that one was. I would venture to say that those guys might not have a gig working on the NBA crew were it not for a guy like Giannis, okay? I hate having to make that argument because I would love to sit here on this podcast and chop it up with you dudes for 15 to 20 minutes about the ways people should comport themselves when interacting with other human beings, but that's not the real world that we live in 2022 anymore, okay? The NBA makes all of its money and gets its worldwide influence off of the back of guys like Giannis. If he wants to come out and shoot a few extra free throws, he gets to come out and shoot a few extra free throws for 10 to 15 minutes. Because let's be serious here. The guy's not going to be sitting out there for 90 minutes putting on a lather. All of this business that Montrezl Harrell did by stealing his ball and then the ladder being put up and then being taken down and then being put up again, that caused him to stop shooting free throws. If anybody would have thought to themselves, that's Giannis Antetokounmpo over there, two-time MVP, a guy who the Disney Corporation made a movie about his life. I'm going to let him get in a couple extra free throws and tell my wife that I got to stand on the court and watch Giannis shoot free throws for a few extra minutes when I get home. That's where we all should have landed on this, but instead we all decided to get hot takey and find something we could shoot arrows at the primetime NBA number one face, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and frankly, I'm disgusted by it. And Jimmy, I don't want to sound too harsh here, but I'm shocked to hear it out of you. I really am.
That's a fantastic soliloquy, Rod. Thank you very much for that. Montrezl Harrell is the biggest ass out of the whole thing, just for the record. I don't want to let him skate because he did start a lot of this. And then the dick move that he did was go on the other side and start shooting just to be an ass. So that was 100% there. However, if people watching that video, if you don't think Giannis is in the wrong at the end of that video, then I can't say anything about you. There's nothing further to discuss. You are wrong, and you can't admit it, and I'm sorry for you, and I pray for you.
Okay, but let me ask you this, Jimmy, and let me ask Chris this question, all right? Because we'll do this for a minute or two more here. Do you believe that those workers would have done any of that business with the ladder had Montrezl Harrell not done his stuff? So I think Montrez is more to blame here, just like Jimmy said. Woo, what do you think?
Agree.
You know, Tony from the suburbs of Philly, you know what I mean, is not going to be all like, hey, Giannis, get out of the way, man. We got some cheesesteaks we got to go get. You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to do that if Montrezl Harrell doesn't come out there and try to get
that's
chesty
such a cheap,
after playing his 2.5 minutes in the game.
That's just like doing a whataboutism.
5 overtimes.
No, listen.
Yeah, listen. All
that's
right, here we
cheap
go.
out.
Here we go. I'm driving this show, and this is where we're going to end it at. I'm right. Everyone else is wrong. Let's go on to the Yeah We Know podcast. We are in the ring with Jimmy and Rod and Chris, and Wu-Tang is here as well. We are going to do some picks so we can go into the Elimination Chamber War Games at Survivor Series for the first time on the main roster. We've only got 4 matches on this show. Why? Because War Games matches are going to be about an hour and 15 minutes each, I think. Rod, are you excited for War Games?
I'm absolutely excited for War Games, and look at you. You are clearly not excited to talk about Giannis anymore, so you just moved us right on to the Thanksgiving treat for the people, a little taste of what we do talking wrestling. I would venture that if you get a hold of Peacock this Saturday night and you've never watched wrestling before, you will happen upon a spectacle that will catch your eyes, because I made the Mrs. Morgan watch the War Games from 2021, I believe it was, in NXT, and she was absolutely mesmerized. And I know for a fact that our buddy Chris King felt the same way when I had him watch a War Games match.
Yeah, you're right about that. Like, I didn't know what it was. You told me which one to go watch, and I was floored about how exciting it was, and it's going to be even better, I think, in Survivor Series.
All right, Wu-Tang. Does this get your fancy going at all here, buddy? We got 2 rings. We got a cage. We got 10 competitors. They start 1-on-1, and then the bad guys come in for a 2-on-1, and then the good guys come in 2-on-2, and they do that until there's 5-on-5, and then the match actually begins, where you have to have a pinfall, a submission. What does that do for you? Are you excited about that?
Well, how do they decide? I mean, is it like the Royal Rumble where they pull names out of a hat?
They are 2 different teams. There's 5 good guys, 5 bad guys, and they have to do a match to see who gets the advantage. But the bad guys always get the advantage because it's a lot more fun to have 2-on-1 bad guys to good guys instead of 2 good guys to 1 bad guy.
Yeah, no, I guess I'm feeling semi-interested.
Okay, well, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Rod, before we get to the War Games matches, we've got Shotzi versus Ronda for the SmackDown Championship. Ronda's going to win this. Who do you think's going to win this, Rod?
I love the way you frame that one. Ronda's definitely not going to lose the belt to Shotzi at Extreme Rules in Boston, Massachusetts on Thanksgiving weekend. You know what I mean? Like, that's definitely not happening. But I just want to give a shout. I just want to give shouts to the Green Warrior herself, the Green Punk Warrior from Oakland, California, Shotzi. Like, she's just like naturally grown on me as somebody who's just showed up, wrestles pretty decent matches, and I popped for her when we were at the SmackDown Live in Indianapolis, and she won that 5-way match to get this. I popped up and was like, yeah, all right, cool, because I was way more excited to see her get this than Liv Morgan again or any of the other people they had in that match, or Raquel Rodriguez to come down and smile at me and then turn around and show me her back one more time. I was like, let me see Shotzi.
You got to love that back, don't you? Chris King, who's going to win?
I mean, would anybody pick anybody but Rousey? I don't see how she could lose her title this quick. There's no way. She's exactly what the title belt holder needs to be. You know, coming out mean mugging everybody. threatening to break.
You mean a manager for Shayna Baszler?
I'm
That's what the
enjoying.
belt holder is supposed to be.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. I think Rousey's a good title holder, and she's definitely going to keep it.
Wu-Tang, who you got? Shayna or Shotzi or Ronda Rousey? All right, Wu-Tang is going to take Ronda Rousey. Sweet. All righty. Finn Balor, AJ Styles, Rod. This is going to be one of the better matches we see, singles matches of the week. I think that AJ Styles has to win this match because where are they going if they don't? Who you got, Rod?
Judgment Day. Give me Finn Balor.
Okay. Thank goodness we picked somebody.
Here's why. Okay, you say they got to go somewhere with the OC, and I know they just put Mia Yim in there, but like where are we going with the biker accountants? Mia Yim seems uncomfortable in that. It doesn't seem to fit her, right? It seems a little bit, Jimmy, and I'm sorry to say this, in the Triple H era where we're not allowed to question booking, it seems a little Vince McMahonish to me. A little bit of square peg in a round hole. You needed somebody for these guys. Mia Yim was the next sort of one on deck. You just said, let's do it, and I don't buy it, so I'm going with Judgment Day here because they have so much heat, and I just feel like those guys winning, crowd being so mad at them, I like that energy at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, so Mia Yim and Rhea Ripley have a little history in NXT, but they haven't built that up yet in a way that is meaningful. So that I kind of see where you're coming on that if you don't know the history. But also if you do know the history, it's Mia Yim. So I understand that as well. Chris King, who you got?
I'm with you, Jimmy. It's got to be Styles. Otherwise, what are they doing? I do think there's going to be a lot of interference, but I think AJ Styles gets over. I think that allows Judgment Day to get back on with their feud with Edge. And so we may lead that up into WrestleMania. So
I didn't even think.
I think they got to let Styles win.
Jimmy, I did not even think about Edge possibly showing his face here. Pay-per-view, as we joke about all the time, Edge really only has comebacks as his character these days.
Yep, that is his character, and maybe his wife is going to be involved as well, but we'll talk about that right now. We have Team Bianca, which has the aforementioned Mia Yim, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, and a mystery partner against the Party Crashers, Rhea Ripley and Nikki Cross. In War Games, I'm going to give this one. I think I've got to give this.
Wait a minute. We have another match that's not a War Games match, Jimmy.
What do we got?
We got my guy, the visionary, the revolutionary, the United States champion, Seth Rollins is taking on Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory. Come on, how are you going to chump my guy?
I was going to save that for the end. Oh, goodness gracious. Fine, we'll do it now. Okay, Rod, how big is Rollins going to win this match?
I think this match is going to be quick, actually, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm with you. I think Finn and AJ are going to be given a lot of runway here, and I think the War Games matches are going to take a lot of time, so something's got to give, and I think it's going to be this match. And I think what we're probably going to see is a Rollins gets the better of Bobby Lashley charging bull in a china shop who just hammers down Austin Theory, and all of a sudden Rollins is the opportunist, and this match is over. So, yeah, I think we could see a quick one, and, of course, my guy Rollins walks out. I'd never pick anything else, though, so don't listen to me.
I wrote it down before you even started talking. Chris King.
I really want Lashley to get the title back. I like this little I just want to hurt people heel turn that he's doing, but I think Rod's guy is going to come out victorious.
Oh, okay. So you are picking Rollins. Yeah, it's a clean sweep for Rollins.
Jimmy, are we excited about Theory already put back into a match like this?
I would have liked to see him build up a little bit more because he's still kind of getting his butt kicked a lot. I'd like to see him built up a little bit more before going back.
Yeah, I think it's a little soon. I was surprised to see this triple threat match be on the card.
So let's go to the Women's War Games match here. First of all, who's going to win? And then for a bonus point, who is the mystery partner going to be, which should be revealed on SmackDown? Rod, Team Bianca, or the Party Crashers, Rhea Ripley, and Nikki Cross?
All right, I got a couple quick points here, Jimmy, so allow me, all right? Sure. First off, I want to say I do not like the ending of Raw. Okay, I understand your point that the bad guy needs to get the advantage, but I really don't know why that had to end with just Asuka basically getting worked by Rhea and then just straight up pinned in the middle of the ring. I don't like that for our girl Asuka. I also don't like that, hey, we're going to actually give this to you on SmackDown. Okay, you and I talk about how maybe we don't need the brand splits anymore, but it was just really, really kind of a kick in the gut to see Bianca Belair, who never really shows up on SmackDown ever since she got drafted over to Raw, to tell you, hey, guess what? I'm going to show up on this show on another network, on an actual prime time, like regular network, and give you this big news, man. If I was USA, I'd be really, really angry about that.
Well, without Raw, USA would not be a network at all, so I think they're just happy that Raw's there. But I do get your point there. Chris King, thoughts on that?
So, I think Ripley and the Party Crashers win. I think Ripley pins the EST, sets up a title match for that. I think the fifth person with Bianca and then will be Becky. I think then that allows the Party Crashers and Becky Lynch to have a program on Raw.
Okay. Rod, what was your pick and person?
I'm gonna have to back the Mrs. Morgan here. Yeah. She told me that she really has a good thought about Beth Phoenix being the fifth person in this match. Beth and Rhea certainly have some unfinished business. The last Premium Live event we saw her husband involved in, Beth got definitely involved at the hands of Rhea Ripley's concerto. So that's who I'm going to pick there. And yeah, I'm going with Chris's answer here. I'm going with the Party Crashers team because Bianca Cena. The only way that Bianca Cena can lose a match like this is if it's not necessarily for the title and there can be a whole bunch of schmozzery that ends up getting her pinned. So I like the Party Crashers team to win this.
It really does set up a lot more if Bianca gets pinned by someone, and I think Rhea is the person to have her get pinned by, maybe setting up a match for the Royal Rumble, which I think would be amazing there. So I do think that the Party Crashers, Ripley and Cross, will win that. I also think Beth Phoenix is going to be the person. Listen, I know Becky's been hurt. Becky would be awesome to be the person, but then,
yeah, don't get me wrong. I would pop for days if it was Becky Lynch.
Yeah, no question. But then the whole match kind of changes then. So we'll see what happens. I think Beth is the person. A Candice LeRae or a Liv Morgan is not going to get you that surprise that Bianca
I'll take
said.
Liv, but if it's Candice LeRae, Jamie, we riot.
But, Bianca's like, hey, you won't be disappointed. So that really does take those two out. It really does.
See, I think you could still get a Liv with that kind of an answer. She was just SmackDown Women's Champion, Jim. They're still trying to build her as somebody big. I don't think they would put her in that category. So if I think it's Liv, they would say, well, we told you it wasn't be a disappointment.
Okay. And then finally we have the Brawling Brutes, Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre against the Bloodline in the War Games match, and I think this is going to be an unbelievable match, and I think Pete Dunne might kill himself at one point here
because he's starting in the ring, right? I mean, let's be honest with that Brawling Brutes team. He's the one who's going to be in the ring for the longest time.
Yeah, it's a Pete Dunne, it's a Sami Zayn perhaps. I think that would be kind of a cool way to start things off with. I think Jey Uso's getting pinned though. And I think Jey Uso's getting pinned by Kevin Owens.
Let's talk about Kevin Owens here to start.
Yes.
That was one of the biggest pops I've had for in wrestling for a while, man. Like when KO came out on that SmackDown, dude, and they hit that guitar and he came out and stunned Roman Reigns, like I absolutely popped. That was one of the bigger pops I've had in a while.
Yeah, he had a scare. With his knee, but obviously that's okay. So that's wonderful that he is able to wrestle in the match. Chris King, are you thinking that actually, Rod, who's going to win that match?
I'm gonna go with the Bloodline. I'm gonna go with the Bloodline. I'm just because I want to be on the other side of you, and just like Roman just seems to just not lose, right? Even though this is the kind of situation, the same thing I said about Bianca, where he could, and it's not necessarily he loses his title or anything. I still they don't like doing anything dirty to Roman at all. So I just think Roman pins somebody and just looks great again.
Okay, Chris King.
I'm going to go with the Brutes and McIntyre and Kevin Owens. I think something happens where the rift with Jay and Sammy definitely increase. That may go where the bloodline wins, though, actually, where it's Sammy either helping Roman or something, and then create. I don't know, but I don't want the bloodline to win, so I'm going with the Brutes, and I think Kevin Owens going to get the pin against somebody.
All right, I was like, did you just pick both teams to win? So okay, that's good. I think it's going to be a terrific show. It's going to be something that a lot of people have never seen before because people don't watch NXT, like Rod and yourself, Chris, and they've had some terrific matches.
And millions and millions and millions of other people.
Oh, no question. So I think this is going to be something talked about, like a pay-per-view has been talked about in a long time. And that is what the WWE needs. It's what they want. And it's going to be a great show on Saturday this week. I hope everyone has a fantastic Thanksgiving. This has been Balls and Brew, Fast Break, the Yeah We Know podcast. Rod, you're going to say your goodbyes, and then, of course, we will leave it to Chris King to end the show.
I just want to take a second here again to reiterate how thankful Jimmy and I and Chris and Williams and all of the other luminaries, Mrs. Morgan, that we have come through here, for you out there that pay attention to us, that listen to this podcast, that check out the Mrs. Morgan blog, that follow along with us on social media and send in questions every once in a while. We absolutely appreciate that. And why don't you just tell a couple of friends of yours here at the end of the year and the holiday times, they got a few extra time on their hands, tell them, hey, you want to listen to something new? Check this out. We would greatly appreciate it as we're all being thankful for things on this holiday season.
Goodbye, Internet.